Hi everyone, I'm Jamie and today I'm going to be teaching you about for loops in Python. A few things to know are that we can use for loops from a string, a list and a list index. And a for loop is used to attain data. Okay, so let's do our for loop from string. So we're going to do a comment to signify what we're speaking about. So for loop from string, okay. And we're going to do our for statement, so for letter in, and then we're going to do a word. So I'm going to do video because I'm doing a video, and then we're going to print a string of current letter, okay, and then we're going to do comma letter. Okay, so if we run this, we can see our result. Okay, you can see that every single letter in the word video has been printed because in our for loop, we've basically said for every single letter in the word, print each letter once. So we've got the word video printed in an acrostic poem style. But what if we want to use a for loop with a list? Well, it's very similar. So let's do our for loop from a list. Okay, so let's just signify what we're speaking about. So we're going to create a list. I'm going to do list1, and that will be equal to banana, apple, and mango. Okay, so we're going to do for fruit in list1, then print string current fruit, and then we're going to do fruit. Okay, so if we go to Tools, Sublime, Python, and we run the current file, you can see that every single fruit in that list has been printed. So we've got the banana, the apple, and the mango, the data inside of the list. Every single piece of data or information has been printed. But what if we want to do a for loop from an index? Well, that is very similar. So let's just signify what we're speaking about. So let's do our comment, and we're going to do a for loop from list index. We're going to create our second list, and that is going to be equal to banana, apple, and mango. So we're going to do for index in range, len list2, then print string current fruit, and then we're going to do list2 with index as our parameter. Okay, so let's go to Tools, Sublime, Python, and run the current file. You can see that essentially the two methods are the same. So if we're printing from a list or a list index, it's the exact same thing, it's just a little bit more complicated to do. So you can see that we've got the banana, the apple, and the mango. Notice these rectangle boxes to signify where we've repeated our data. So banana is the same, apple's the same, and mango. So it goes in the same order and it works in the same fashion. Okay, so now I'm going to do another example. We're just going to repeat our first example. So we're going to do for loop from string, but we're going to change it up a little bit. So we're going to do for letter in, and then we're going to do our name. So I'm doing J4M13, so I'm making the numbers into strings. I'm converting them because I don't want to use them as numbers. I'm wanting them to be purposely strings. So we're going to do print string current letter, and then we're going to do outside of that the parameter, which is letter. So let's go to Tools, Sublime, Python, and run the current file. You can see that J4M13 was printed, which means Jamie. But if I actually wanted to do my name, I could do that. That would be very similar. In fact, it'd be almost the same. So we're doing a for loop from string. Okay, we do for letter in, and then we do our name. Okay, we print a string of current letter, and then outside of there we do the parameter, which is letter. So we go to Tools, Sublime, Python, and run the current file. You can see that my name was also printed. Okay, and now let's tidy up our code a little bit. So in between each for loop, we're going to call the print function. And what that is going to do is it's basically going to print a blank space. It's going to print nothing, but it will still work as if it's printing something, except there'll be nothing there. So let's go to Tools, Sublime, Python, and run the current file. You can see that we now have gaps between our code. And that's how to do for loops in Python. Thank you for watching.